Hi guys. Okay, I made a vow to try my best to keep this short and sweet, right to the point. I've struggled with acne for years, probably since puberty. It's gone up and down throughout my life. I have tried, especially in high school, I tried many different things. I never saw a dermatologist though. But I tried like Proactive. My aunt used to get me like face washes and things like that, and nothing ever really seemed to work. And I got to college, it was okay. And then I think it was around the time actually that I started dabbling in makeup. People were like, well, why don't you try this? Why don't you try that? Why don't you try this? And I was trying everything. And when I say everything, I mean everything. I want to say around 2013, I started using Clinique. That seemed to help me for a while, just keep it at bay. But no matter what I tried, it always seemed that, I don't know, within a few months, it'll just pop back up. And I was like, there has to be something that it's consistent, something that I can continue to use and I don't have to switch it up. And, because I was all for, I don't care how much it costs. I just want it to work. I don't care. Finally, I decided, you know what, I'm going to start seeing a dermatologist. This was in 2015. I went to him for about a year and a half before I was just like, nope, not anymore. And what he did for me was little to nothing. I feel like I saw a slight change, towards the end of 2015, beginning of 2016. I had to go see my gynecologist and so they can test me for a hormonal imbalance, which I didn't have. And the way he presented it is, if you have a hormone imbalance, then you can get on birth control and that'll, balance you out and help with your acne. He put me on a face gel, adapalene. To be specific, it was adapalene 0.1. For some reason I kept the box, because I always keep the box. It's weird. I don't know why. I'm gonna throw this away after this video. Believe me. I'm gonna throw this away. And on top of that, the birth control. But this isn't necessarily working. It was kind of like one of those trick things where you try something new and then it like works for 5 seconds. On top of the birth control, he prescribed minocycline. Now, minocycline it has side effects, okay? I just wanted whatever would work for my skin. So I was willing, I didn't care about the side effects. But one of the side effects that actually was not in the listed side effects, it was more of something I had to Google, was the discoloration of your mouth. It was really weird because my coworker came to me one day, she's like, oh yeah, something on your tongue. And I was like, what, really? And I looked and it was like black marks on my tongue. And I was like, what the heck? And then over time, I thought to myself too, I was like, hey man, my gums have been changing, getting darker, like almost like smoker gums, I was like, this is not cute. So yeah, and I just started putting two and two together, and finally I realized that it was a minocycline. I was like, nah, like I'm done with that, because I kept digging and reading reviews and stuff like that. And I guess it's a certain percentage of people that need to have this side effect in order for them to report it on a symptom. Maybe they do now, but I promise you, I remember reading the symptoms and I was all right with everything else, but that was not one that I remember seeing. The minocycline was 75 milligrams and the Lomedia, I'm probably going to butcher all of the prescription names, 24 FE 1 milligram. I don't know if that's going to help any of you, but that's what I was on. September 23rd, he decided that he was going to put me on a stronger birth control. Me being dumb, or actually more of like a pushover, because I was like, I really don't want to be on this. But again, I was like, you know what? Maybe it's going to help me. Maybe it's going to clear my skin up, whatever. So I went on that, and it's Norgy. Actually, I still have it. It's this one right here. I don't remember using it for a month, but I had to have. So I used it for 1 month, and then I think the second month was when I was supposed to finish it. I was like, hell to the no, because toward the end of that month, I guess, when I started using it, I started noticing like my face was itchy, and I slowly started breaking out in like these hives. It took me a minute to figure out maybe this has like, maybe I have an allergic reaction or something, and I thought it was the birth control, which it was, but it was just weird that it took that long for me to have an allergic reaction, probably because it takes a while for it to kick in and for your body to get used to it. And then when my body got used to it, it was just like, no girl, no. At 11/15/2016, I decided to go to the urgent care because it had just gotten so bad, and it was just everywhere. It has spread to like my chest area, my back, everything. It was just everywhere, and I was like, okay, something is not right. He gave me an allergy shot, and he also prescribed, I'm gonna have to put it down below because there ain't no way, it's methylprednisolone, I don't know. He did those two things for me, and the next day actually I had a dermatologist appointment, and so basically they said, oh, basically they treated it like a yeast infection on my face, okay? And I was like, okay, like a fungal infection, and I was like, okay, I've never heard of that before, but you guys are the experts, so whatever you say. So I had to go get Selsun Blue, and then I picked up the prescription out, and one of the first things I saw was yeast infection. I was like, is this the right prescription? And he goes, yeah. And then like he kind of like whispered, like, oh yeah, it's like for a yeast infection. I was like, I don't have a yeast infection. And he was like, what? And then I'm like, no, it is. Like, he's like trying to figure out. He's like, yeah, this is what they prescribed. And I was like, well, she said something about like, she didn't say yeast infection, but she said something along those lines where I knew that whatever the Selsun Blue was supposed to help some type of infection on my face. So he's like, that's weird that they prescribed, you know, these pills for yeast infection, but for your face. I was like, hey, I don't know, I'm just listening to what they told me to do. And I remember the day before Thanksgiving, because I was out of town with my friend, actually, and with my family, yeah, so the 22nd, it was the last time I used it, because I was just like, this is not working, okay? And they still had me taking the, because I had mentioned, look, I think this is a side effect from this birth control. And they're like, no, you should be fine. Just take the, you know, fluconazole, whatever, and wash your face with the Selsun Blue, and, you know, you'll see results. And so I had been doing that for, you know, from the 15th until, you know, the 22nd. And I was just like, this ain't working fast enough. This ain't working at all. Like, because I felt like new bumps were surfacing, and there was no drying or anything of it. And I was like, this is not working. I was like, it's this birth control. And I'm like, I don't understand how I'm supposed to be taking this for acne. It's causing acne. That day I was like, I'm taking none of this stuff. And then so I threw it. Well, I didn't throw it away apparently, but I stopped taking the birth control. When I went back home, like, you know what? I'm changing my dermatologist. I don't remember how I picked my new dermatologist, but I picked my new dermatologist, and I had an appointment with them, because this dermatologist actually is the one who put me on a facial care routine, which I'm going to show you, and that's why I don't have any makeup on this video. And she just kept looking at me weird every time I told her the new things that they had me doing at the old dermatologist. But anyhow, but what happened is, so I went to see her, got my face routine down and everything, and I think it's like 6 weeks that they have you wait for your follow-up appointment. So literally 2 days before my follow-up appointment, I get a call. Our office will be closing. I was just like, okay. And I was so sad, because when I tell you that face routine saved my life, I was so depressed about my face. I did not want to go anywhere. I didn't want to see anybody. I didn't want to do anything. Like, I was just like, I cannot. Like, you putting makeup on made it look worse. Like, it was just like intensified. It was so disgusting. Like, for me, I just did not feel myself, and I was just really, really depressed about it. So yeah, so when I saw her and like had changed this whole routine, I mean, instantly I saw results that stayed. I think I was taking a prescription drug with her as well, but I immediately got off that because it was working so well. I was like, okay, if I don't have to take these drugs, I don't want to take them. Like, I want it to all be, you know, over the counter or, you know, prescription outside medication. February 3rd is when I got switched over to a new dermatologist, and I was really hesitant. I was like, I just found a new dermatologist. It's a hassle because, first of all, they told them that my face was clear. Let me tell you, if I was hesitant before about saying that they were just trying to collect co-payments, they were literally trying to collect co-payments. I was like, ain't no way, excuse me, in hell you're gonna tell me that my face was clear. Like, no, it was not. Looking like, I'm not even gonna make fun of myself like that, but no, it was not clear. I was just irritated by that. I was like, I know I made the right decision because they were making a hassle with me switching dermatologists, and like they were doing something for me. I was like, you ain't doing nothing for me but collecting my co-payments, okay? Something, although I love the second lady, they had never taken pictures of me or anything like to show progress throughout my journey. And the first thing that they did was, can we take a picture, you know, so that we can track your progress? I was like, yes, you can. Yes, you can. Because I want you to be accountable, just as accountable as I will be for, you know, not doing what I'm supposed to do. She kept everything pretty much consistent from the past dermatologist, but I decided to get off of the medications. I stayed on my facial care routine from the first lady, and then on the March 30th, she put me on like this cleansing wash, so I use that as well. So I use like a drugstore wash, which is the Neutrogena, which I'll get into in just a second.